For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Remember to use the code WOLF at the checkout for a massive 5% off your order. Link is down in the description below. Please go and check them out. Yes then YouTube, the 4-2-3-1 formation. If any of you have ever watched a video of mine, you will know what I think of this formation. It is your bread and butter. But first, drop this video a like for me. Drop a comment down below. And if you can please hit that subscribe button to my channel, that will mean the world to me. Now, I absolutely love the 4-2-3-1. I think you've got everything. You've got the 2 CDMs. You've got the 3 cams behind the striker. So it is an amazing formation offensively and defensively as well. It is the full package. So without any further ado, let's get into the custom tactic. Now, the defensive style, there are a few things here and there that you could maybe use with the 4-2-3-1 on the defensive style. But I personally think the best thing and the most meta thing that you can use on the defensive style is just balance, YouTube. I really do. A balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. I just think that is way better than anything else you can use. Constant pressure, definitely don't use that from minute 1. Press after possession loss and pressure on every touch are the two that I do think are kind of viable, but they will drain your stamina down into the ground and your players will just be absolutely dead by like the 60th minute, YouTube, even sometimes half time. So that's why I don't use the pressure on every touch or the press after possession loss. I do think balanced is definitely the way to go. I just like to be in control of where and when my team presses the ball, YouTube. It really is just that simple. Now, the defensive width, I do actually now go quite narrow with the 4-2-3-1 on the defensive width, YouTube. Yes, now, if any of you don't know what these patches have done over the last few months, they've kind of nerfed the byline meta, but they haven't nerfed it into the ground. So because of that, I want my players to kind of defend the box, really. I kind of say to myself, my defenders, my opponent, you can have the width. That doesn't matter to me as long as we're nice and compact in the middle of the pitch for when my opponent is trying to use them extra passes. That's the way I look at it. So I go all the way down, YouTube, to 40. Yes, 40 on the defensive width. Basically, I just want my team in the kind of just to defend the width of the 18-yard box and a little bit wider than that. So my left back and my right back are ever so slightly wider than that. It just makes us more defensively solid, YouTube. The stats and the data that I use when I'm doing my custom tactics back it up. I concede less goals when I'm defending a lot more narrow, so that's why I've gone with 40 on the defensive width. Now, the defensive depth, yes. If any of you have ever watched any of my videos recently, you know what I'm going to say. But, and there is a but, there are 2 options, okay? Option number 1 is, of course, the option I'm using and I think is the best and the most meta option that you can use on this game at the moment. And that is, of course, the 71 depth. Yes, 71 depth. If any of you don't know what the 71 depth does, when we lose the ball, our team will automatically press and automatically offside trap up the pitch. It is very overpowered and very broken. But at the same time, it doesn't drain our stamina like in like a press after possession loss or a pressure on heavy touch would. And that is why it is so effective and so broken, YouTube. So that's the 71 depth. Option number 2 though, YouTube, of course I always like to give you other options. This is the option I would use if you don't want to use the 71 depth or you are playing on old gen, and I would recommend 60 depth in the 4-2-3-1. The reason being, we do actually have 2 CDMs, so we can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with our attacking output, thus leading to kind of just having our opponent have less opportunities and meaning that we can be afford a little bit more aggressive with that defensive structure. But for me, the 71 depth, your absolute bread and butter. The offense is build up, play and chance creation. I'm going to go into zero detail of that, YouTube. Balance and direct passing. You know the rules at this point. Balanced and direct passing. Now, the offensive width, I do go a little bit more narrow than the preset 50, only ever so slightly, down to 46. Basically, I want my left-sided cam and my right-sided cam to kind of make penetrating runs inwards, giving us more offensive support. But at the same time, they are still holding that width because we haven't gone very narrow, which means that we can still use and abuse the byline meta if we want to. So that's why I'm using that 46 width. Players in the box is, of course, going to be 7. I've always used that. I just always think the more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal and the more goal scoring opportunities we will create. Very simple when you break it down like that. I then lower my corners and free kicks down from 3 and 3 to 2 and 2, just to stop us getting counter-attacked on, really, YouTube. So, custom tactics done. let's get into the player instructions. Now, the 4-2-3-1 YouTube is all about the player instructions. The custom tactics are important, but having the right player instructions in the 4-2-3-1 will really help your cause. So, the striker, you probably already know what my striker is going to be on in a Connor Woolf custom tactics video. That is, of course, stay central and getting behind. Pretty self-explanatory with that, YouTube. I want my striker to stay in them central areas of the pitch, and I also want my striker, whether it be he or a she in FIFA Ultimate Team, to be making them penetrating runs in behind. It's very simple when you break it down like that. We've already got a left-sided cam and a right-sided cam, so we kind of don't really, I personally, YouTube, just don't feel the need of kind of changing that, basically. So I kind of don't want my striker venturing out wide, because the left-sided cam and the right-sided cam already do that anyway. So that's why I have my striker on stay central, and I also want my striker to make penetrating runs in behind, because even if we don't play the ball to our striker, it does then create a nice big space in the middle of the pitch for our cam to operate in. And the cam in the 4-2-3-1 YouTube is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most important player in the 4-2-3-1. So my cam is actually only on one player instruction, and that is getting to the box for cross. Very simple, YouTube. I want the more players that we have in the box, basically, the more likely we are to score a goal. It's why I have 7 players in the box on the custom tactics, and why I have a lot of my forward thinking players also on getting to the box for cross. I like to play an attack minded style of FIFA, YouTube. It's very simple when you break it down like that. Now, my right-sided cam, does have 2 player instructions. So the first one is come back on defense, just make it as more defensively solid. Very simple when you break it down like that. And then the second one is get into the box for cross and stick to position. So my right-sided cam will hold that width on the right-hand side, because he or she is on stick to position. And also the get into the box for cross, again, pretty self-explanatory. The more attack-minded players we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. Very simple when you break it down like that. And then my left-sided cam, there is a little bit of a tweak compared to the right-sided cam. So come back on defense, again, make it as more defensively solid. Get into the box for cross, again. Also, just the more attack-minded players we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. And then the positioning freedom, have that player on free roam. So my left-sided cam will drift inwards quite a lot, giving us a bit of an overload in that middle of the pitch. So my left-sided cam will sometimes hold the width, but also will drift inwards. Very important on the 4-2-3-1 to have either the lamb or the ram on free roam. Because my left-sided cam is on free roam, I play with my left-sided CDM on stay back while attacking and cover centre. So this is a traditional number 6, a traditional CDM position. So I kind of want a player that really is good, does have a lot of them defensive play styles. So stay back while attacking and cover centre. My right-sided CDM is then on balanced defense, balanced attack and cover centre. Because my ram is holding the width on that right hand side, my right sided CDM does have a lot of license to get forward in between my middle cam and my right sided cam and help out in the attacking side of the game. Very important, YouTube, that you have that, in my opinion. Because our ram is holding the width on that right hand side, I play with my right back on stay back while attacking. So my right back isn't interested in going forward at all. Both my centre backs are on completely default settings, YouTube. So stay back while attacking, normal interceptions and stick to position. And then this is very important, YouTube. My left back is then on balanced attack and overlap. So my left back will have license to get forward if he or she wants to, especially with my left-sided cam drifting inwards into kind of like that number 10 position sometimes, because he or she is also on free roam. Very nicely, that just means my left back will be bombing on down that left-hand side as my left-sided cam drift inwards. Kind of think of that like Aston Villa under Unai Emery. We will have like a Morgan Rogers or a Jacob Ramsey, who of course has been injured all season. He will play in that left-sided cam, but will drift inwards, and then Moreno or Luca Dean on that left-hand side will bomb on. And then last but not least, my goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there, YouTube, is my brand new updated 4-2-3-1 custom tactics for you. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Drop it a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can please, YouTube, hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love.